Hey folks, it's Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, the lawsuit against term limit change. How did that come about? Let's talk about it. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, I want to talk about the lawsuit that was filed today by legendary civil rights attorney Michael Sussman. 12 residents filed lawsuit against term limits change. Only 12? Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Yo, they got a lawsuit. Lawsuit's out, folks. Yeah, they're suing for the term limit change, which is not surprising to me. I saw that this was going to be happening. What's surprising to me is that it's only 12 individuals. And so I started to think about it. I said, wait a minute, only 12? I thought there were more people involved. And so I started to look at it and I said, I wonder what's really going on here. December 12th, notable civil rights attorney Michael Sussman filed a lawsuit in Westchester County Supreme Court against the city of Yonkers, contesting their amendment of the city charter to extend term limits without a voter referendum. Signed on as plaintiffs are 12 Yonkers residents representing a range of geographic, social, political, and economic diversity in a move to symbolize a trials court jury of one's peers. The move comes only 10 days after Mayor Mike Spano signed the new law amending the Yonkers charter to allow officers to serve 4 terms of 4 years instead of 3 terms. On the 7th-seat council, there was both bipartisan support and bipartisan opposition to this change that ultimately resulted in a 4-3 vote to adopt the extension. Those in support, like the author of the legislation, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, owe a great deal of their political success to the mayor and his family, which is something I put up, very recently in a video where she was thanking Vinnie Spano and others, right? While others, like Republican council member of the 6th District, Anthony Moranti, may soon announce his own bid for mayor next year. While this is the second time in a row the city council has amended the charter to allow for an extension of term limits, this recent process was faced with increased scrutiny and near derision by many in the public. How term limits were changed. The proposed amendment itself was presented to the city council only days after the 2022 general election. During the Rules Committee meeting on Tuesday, November 15th, there was already a spectacle in the works. Present in the historic Yonkers City Hall chambers were activist groups like Community Voices Heard and Indivisible, who opposed the extension, as well as a collection of Spano supporters who appear to be mostly labor-backed city workers. During discussion, Anthony Moranti proposed bipartisan legislation co-authored with Shanae Williams in the 1st District to place the term limit extension on a public referendum on the next general elections ballot in 2023. Both this and Mr. Moranti's suggestion to move the term limit extension into committee on legislation for further discussion was not adopted in an evenly split 3-3 vote, as Mike Breen was absent in Aruba. Now, folks, here's the game that's being played, right? So it says here, Anthony Moranti and Shanae Williams wanted to, put it on a public referendum. But why did they wait so long? They knew about this. Let's stop playing the games. They knew about this. They knew this was coming. I mean, the people were talking about it, right? We were whispering it. We were, discussing it. There were rumors. Even some of the council members have mentioned it, right? So they knew. So why did Anthony Moranti and Shanae Williams wait so long? And why did Shanae not realize that night when Mike Breen was absent that she should have voted no? But she didn't. And then she wanted to change her vote all of a sudden. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. So this is all games that are being played, okay? They knew. Anthony Moranti knew about it. I mean, Anthony Moranti's known a lot. And I'm not going to at Moranti, but Moranti, you've been there for a while now. You know what's been going on there. Okay, you know all the dealings and wheelings that's been going on behind closed doors. Okay, so you're not coming out with it. That's already, to me, a negative. Look, at the end of the day, you signed that letter, right? The first time when they wanted to investigate Mike Cater. Then you decided not to sign it a second time. Why? Okay, so you know the dealings and wheeling, what's going on there in the city of Yonkers and the corruption. right? The public hearing was held on Monday, November 21st at the Riverfront Library in downtown Yonkers. All members of this council were in attendance to hear roughly 150 registered speakers. Over the 4-hour-long session, two persistent themes emerged. One in support of extensions based solely on the approval of the current mayor's tenure and wishing for that to extend indefinitely, and one opposed that pleaded for the term limit change to be put on a referendum as it had been in 94 and 2001. The city council meeting on the vote was held the next evening, as was the scene in the rules meeting and the public hearing. The room was packed and the crowd was restless. After some comments from the public and the council members themselves made their remarks, most notable were from the city council president, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, and the majority leader, Tasha Diaz. Collins Bellamy noting a recent death in the family, went from visibly upset to outright irate at those in the public who questioned her ambition and motives for proposing this unsolicited change. Diaz also took a combative approach and went so far as to admonish individual constituents in the crowd. The room became so heated that one community advocate was even arrested. Despite this pandemonium, the vote was taken and the term limits extension was passed by a 1-vote margin. With the council vote secured, Mike Spano signed the legislation on Friday, December 2nd. The legal challenge. Okay, let's talk about what they challenge here. The fundamental question asked by those in opposition to this term limit change was, does the city council and the mayor have the power to make this change? Do they? Those in support cite the council's inherent ability to change local laws within the charter, but those in opposition posit that the term limit section of the charter rise above that power, leaving aside a referendum. The lightning fast process the city council engaged in also omitted legislative committee hearings and the engagement of the independent charter commission, whose sole purpose is to advise on these matters. But it's not an independent charter commission, right? And I spoke about this on a recent podcast. If you look at the individuals who are part of this commission, they are all political insiders who are appointed solely by the mayor. And it says that the independent charter commission can only be appointed by the mayor and no one else can say anything about it, right? So it is from this position where Michael Sussman is now arguing that the state Supreme Court, that the city's action is in violation of its own ethics provision as well as New York state law. The Yonkers Charter asserts in Section C-1A6 that no officer shall engage in an action that may result in their direct financial benefit. By the sitting council members and the mayor changing the charter in a way that may directly benefit themselves by allowing them to reap the perks of additional terms. They, Sussman argues, are in violation of this ethics provision. If the change to the charter has been applied only after all sitting officers had exercised their 3 terms, then there would be no violation. Beyond the city's own ethics statute, Sussman also cites Section 2 of the New York State's Municipal Home Rule Law, which I also spoke about recently in a podcast, which prohibits local governments from changing the structure of their own government without a public referendum. The term limits, the suit argues, is a qualification of a candidate and cannot be altered by the candidates themselves. This state provision therefore requires a public referendum on a change of this type. If the court agrees on either point, the recent charter amendment may become void and a mandatory referendum could be placed on the 2023 general election ballot, barring Mayor Spano from running for office. Worst mayor in Yonkers, JP, how you doing? So basically what they're saying there is that they cannot change or amend the charter because there's a stipulation that states that they cannot do any changes that will benefit them, right? Financially benefit them. And if they change the charter, which they did, that will allow them to run again for office. And therefore they will be, benefiting again, as they will be getting paid for their position and other perks and benefits that they get. And I wonder how they're going to argue this. Will they say, well, they still have to be voted on, right? That's been the argument that they were making. Well, it's still a vote. You still have to come out. I mean, you can vote for whoever you want ultimately, right? So will they use that argument? I seen Breen's daughter got the first of the paybacks for Breen's vote. Yeah, how so? Please tell me, because I find it interesting that she was the one that was the supervising officer 2 years ago when I had that incident where we were attacked and that video was made and that was used against me. Was she given a promotion recently? A lot of people have been given promotion recently. You see the mayor going around now, giving promotions out, visiting business, doing things with kids and stuff. He's really trying to, make himself look good. He's even hitting the gym. But is all that going to be for nothing as this lawsuit now has been filed? And who are the 12 individuals? Well, they're members of our community. Many of them have been speaking out against, what's been happening here, the corruption in the city of Yonkers. Many of them have been vocal here on my podcast. And I appreciate all the work that, these individuals are doing. However, I'm concerned that there are certain individuals within that group that are looking to take advantage of a situation and utilize it for their own agenda. And that's what concerns me, because that could ultimately, cause problems in what we're trying to do here, the change that we're trying to see. And now I know that, members of this 12 include people like Keisha Skipper, vice president of the NAACP, Carolyn Elizabeth Marie. She's one of the resident here that comments a lot. Ron Matton, which I found very interesting. Ron Matton was, kind of helping them. Ron, you were kind of helping them, which I thought it was very interesting to see you on there. I guess this is your way of trying to get it back. A sergeant is made the XO medical control, used to be LT spot. Well, all council members get to keep their jobs and salary. The mayor stays in their office. Not all of them, just the ones, there's some that are going to be up for re-election, right? And some of them have already completed a third term, like Corazon Pineda Isaac, right? Mike Breen. They would also be able to run again for a fourth term, as well as the mayor. The other ones who are not up for re-election, obviously they would remain in their position until their term is up and they have to run for re-election. So I'm just wondering, is this being, used also by certain individuals? Because there are agendas. A lot of people now starting to have agendas. And I just want to make it very clear, like, this is about the people. It's not about any one person's agenda to now try to utilize this opportunity so they can then get their candidate in office. I know it's going to be a shit show for District 1, a shit show for District 3, right? And so, I know that Jamal Bowman is also actually getting into the mix. And I'm wondering if Jamal Bowman is also working on trying to, get his hand on having some control here in the city of Yonkers, along with the NAACP and other groups. Christopher Johnson, I know, they're looking to run their own candidates, right? And so I don't want this to be hijacked by individuals who are looking to, benefit politically. That's all I'm saying. Right? I don't understand why this group of individuals can't come together and allow everyone to be a part of it. Why is it that I can't be a part of it if this person is going to be a part of it? That's very childish. Very childish. At the end of the day, we are here to see change happen in Yonkers. And already there's infighting. And that needs to stop. Right? You're excluding individuals like Joe Pinion. Why? Right? They didn't want Ron Matton to be a part of it. It's all crazy nonsense, right? And Freddie Vasquez is out here, leading the charge, I would say, because there's a lot of individuals that all of a sudden are becoming vocal. Well, you guys were a part of creating this mess to begin with. Remember who you guys supported at first. Like, you didn't know that this would happen. And so now all of a sudden you guys are opposing it, but you guys created the mess. You helped create the mess, right? Let's take a look at this video that I posted up here from Lakeisha Collins Bellamy's victory speech. And let's see who she's thanking. This is what I'm saying. Like, so I'm not about the BS. I'm not about the fakeness, right? I'm out here fighting hard, and I expect that, people come and we get together and we support each other. Not say, oh, we're going to leave this person out, leave that person out. I don't think that that's good. I think that that's causing already a division, and it's going to create problems, right? So I don't want to see that stuff happen, and I'm going to call it out. It's not okay to do that. So, there's individuals that all of a sudden now want to get involved, but you guys were helping Lakeisha.
Who was here. I can't forget such and Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
Vinny.
You guys didn't see that. Check it out. She thanks Vinny Spano. She thanks Wilson Kimbo. She thanks James Kavanaugh. Right? She thanked the mayor for putting her into the board of trustees position, and she says the mayor believed in me again, which is why she was running for city council president. Right? Good Sussman. He's smacking this corrupt city around for a lifetime. Talk about job security, right? Right. Now, definitely. I mean, Sussman obviously has a whole history with city of Yonkers, right? You go back to the desegregation, whole thing with that in the 80s. Let me see. I want to see where this is. Because folks, like, you got to keep it all the way honest, man. Some of y'all supported this And now all of a sudden, y'all, you know, against this, and we gotta just watch who's really what, folks. We gotta just see what people's true intentions, true motives are. You know, I don't want nobody utilizing you're not gonna utilize my podcast, you know, to give me to, you know, so I could do your work or do your job. You're not gonna try to Vinny span on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know. If y'all not gonna, you know, include everybody in this movement, especially people that are out there themselves out there, right? Because you have your own agendas, then, you know, I'm going to call that out. That's not going to be okay with me. It's not. Especially when you guys were, you know, supporting this whole thing. You guys flip-flop, remember? You guys flip-flop on Mike Cater. Y'all should have supported Cater.
And took me along the way. He appointed me to He heard my story and he said, I love.
So she's talking about the mayor right here. And so why did she introduce this
to do
legislation?
What I love. Education is the key. Right. And he allowed me to be a board for education. So that little young boys and girls that come from places like I come from can have the opportunities that I have. Right? And then when I decided to put my hat in the ring, of course we know how the story went, and the mayor took another gamble on me. So thank you.
The mayor took another gamble on me. What does that mean? She works for the mayor. She introduced the legislation to extend the term limits.
I appreciate all that you have done for me and my family. I have to thank all of you, everyone who knocked on the door, everyone who handed out my palm card, everyone who called a friend. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Today, this operation.
You heard her? She said today, this operation. She caught herself. She almost said today, the operation to take out Cater, to operation, whatever that operation was. She almost said it right there. She almost spilled the beans.
Thank you for everyone who was here. I can't forget to mention Vinny.
Oh, yeah.
Vinny.
Mayor's brother, Vinny Spano.
All right, baby. Come on, baby. Baby, we need to see you, baby.
Vinny's gonna be my right hand.
Vinny's gonna be her right hand.
Whispering in my ear, telling me what to do as the next.
Whispering in her ear.
African American City Council President. Vin. I look forward to working alongside you. I look forward to working with you to make me great and do all that I will do on this city council. I thank you all. I thank you all. Some I've met along the way, and we become sisters, right? You would think we've known each other for years, being big sisters to me. And I just thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I would not be standing here without you. I've said it from the beginning. This race is not about me. It's about the past, my ancestors that came here and wanted a better life. And I'm fulfilling that dream today. For our future, the young boys and girls, the justice of the world.
There goes the mayor.
I am nothing. Everything that I have, everything that I am, is because God said so. When I decided to throw my hat in this ring, no one thought that we would be here tonight.
We
But
did.
God
Yes,
told
we
me that it
did.
was going to be.
Yes, we did.
Today, everyone realized what I was saying in January. I started to pray. I said, God, if it is your will, let it be.
Yes.
I said, God, show the people what I'm up against. And things started happening. And then I said, God, these mailers are kind of expensive.
They're kind of expensive, but the Committee for a Better Yonkers paid for them, right?
I said, I call it the single mother's prayer because I've said it many times and it always works. I said, Lord, I need money to fall out the sky.
So you hear her there. She says, I did the single mom prayer. Lord, I need money to fall out the sky. So that's motive. To me, that's motive as to why she would introduce that legislation, right, to extend the term limits on behalf of the mayor and the Spano family, rather than, doing it on behalf of the people who she's supposed to represent, because she's been promised things. And she said it. She said, when I do get voted out at the meeting, it'll be on to bigger and better things. Single mom prayer. I guess Nick Spano answered it.
I was a little hesitant. I had saved up, had been working. I'm like, maybe that was God's way of saying he knew I was going to be here in this moment and that I would need everything, and he was preparing me for it from the beginning. So I made that seed for myself. And the minute I dropped that seed, it started to rain. Prayer was, God, I need a landslide.
Yes.
And one you got.
I said, how much paper is out? It's awesome. I have to thank my family, my husband, my son, my mom, my dad, my aunt, my extended family, for putting up with all this craziness. In the last 6 months. I've been driving them crazy, pushing them as hard as I was pushing myself. I have my best friends here from Harlem and Virginia.
Hey.
They came home with me tonight, so I thank you all for loving me.
Yep.
This is not it. This is not it. This is just the beginning.
Yes,
We have another round in November. So please, the same way we turned up and turned out tonight, I need all of you to show up.
Double.
And turn out in November. We're taking it from cottage to the council.
CPG, CCP from CPG. You see Christopher Johnson behind there. See, it was a little bit surprising, that where she's saying that all of a sudden she started getting all this support, and then she got this landslide victory. And this is the speech she gave after the primaries when she defeated Mike Cater. But yeah, she started to get a lot of momentum the minute that they started pushing that investigation, the minute that Ron Mattin, who is on that lawsuit now, wrote the letter to the Yonkers City Council, who then got it and then wrote a letter to Liam McLaughlin, and all 6 of them initially signed it, asking for an investigation into Mike Cater. The second letter, for some reason, Moranti did not sign. They had sent another letter to Liam in regards to this investigation, but Moranti, for whatever reason, refused to sign it. So a lot of people started to switch sides. The mayor endorsed Lakeisha. The Democratic Committee pulled their endorsement from Mike Cater, Christopher Johnson, the Yonkers NAACP, Keisha Skipper. All these individuals that were once supporting Mike Cater flipped on him and supported LaKeisha Collins Bellamy. And now look what we have today. See what I'm saying, folks? And so now people are opposing it. They're filing lawsuits now. But you guys helped create the mess. And now you're trying to keep other individuals who truly, genuinely want to see change happen out of a coalition of individuals who supposedly want to see change happen. So we got to watch out for individuals who move funny. Freddie will call it out 1,000%. And don't ever mention my CPS investigation. If you got something to say about it, talk to me about it. Anything you have, speak to Freddie about it. Because I'm out here. I'm on the front lines. We didn't hear a lot of y'all saying anything before. What's up with the affordable housing? Nobody's screaming anything now, right? That little meetings you guys are having, that's going to be too late. What about the people that are getting evicted now, the mass evictions? What about weaponizing the police on a lot of people, not just Jamal Bowman? If you're an organization that says, you know, you guys don't get into politics, but yet the only press release and defense was in defense of a politician like Jamal Bowman, when other members, minorities, people of color have had CPS and the police weaponized against them, yet nothing. People are being evicted, yet nothing. Stop with the nonsense, the fake stuff. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. And if you don't support me, I'm not supporting you. That's just how it's going to be, right? Because this is becoming a shit show to me. I added my name on this effort because of the issue at hand. I have been involved in Yonkers politics since 1968. I know very well that everyone will always have his or her own agenda. I have approached many people to add their names to this endeavor, but almost all were afraid to add their names publicly. What does that tell you? Well, I wasn't afraid to add it publicly. I've never been afraid. I've actually been very public about speaking out against the corruption that's been happening here and calling individuals out. Right? I've put my whole business, my whole family out there. And so for individuals to, you know, say that they don't want me a part of something, to me, I take a great offense to that. And that just shows to me that these people are not genuine, right? This is not about party. It's not about Republicans, conservative, Democrat. This is about the people of Yonkers who have had enough. People of Yonkers that have been retaliated on, that had their businesses destroyed, their family attacked, and still have individuals going after their families and have to constantly watch their back. This is what it's about, creating change for that. And yes, there have been many people who have been, you know, fighting for a very long time, right? And there are people that have been fighting maybe for a year. People that are just starting to see what's happening. But then there are individuals that are in it for their own benefit, for their own agenda. And they go wherever the wind's blowing, that's the direction they're going in. Right, wherever they see that they can benefit. I'm not with all that. This is real for me. Okay, my family's been attacked. I got a CPS case because I'm out here speaking about the corruption, and then you can have individuals say, "Oh, I don't know, Freddie's being investigated for the CPS thing." Yeah, why did I get that? Because I'm out here speaking about it. I'm out here putting the information that people are giving me because they're too, you know, afraid to put it out themselves, and I get why. So I'll do it. But don't look at me like I'm doing something wrong because I have this false investigation that came about because I'm speaking about it, because I'm putting the information out, because I'm not using a fake profile, because I'm not being quiet, because I'm not hiding. And I've gone deep into the trenches and I haven't flip-flopped like some other individuals. Everybody's fighting for this one in District 3 thing now. I get it. I see the moves that you guys are making. I know why y'all doing what y'all doing. I see the little coalitions that are forming. Because at the end of the day, it's really about getting a political office, right? So they're going to utilize this term thing. Oh, we want the term. We got to do this for the people. But it's, for some, about politics. And that's what I'm saying. And it's not about politics to me. It's about creating real change. There's people out there getting evicted, put on the street just before the holidays. Still haven't come up with a housing ordinance, and no one's really put pressure on them. There's organizations out here that are supposed to be doing this. This lawsuit should have been filed, all right? There should be other lawsuits, organizations out there that should be filing lawsuits as well, not relying on certain individuals and then piggybacking off it. That's all I'm saying. I was only addressing not any other. No, I know. I'm not talking about you, Joan. I'm not even referring to you, Joan. You've done a lot of great things, Joan, and I appreciate everything you've done. It has nothing to do with you, Joan. It's about organizations and individuals that, you know, supported this, right? And now they're against it all of a sudden. Why? Because they see an opportunity here and they want to jump on that opportunity. Opportunity that was created by certain individuals putting their necks out there, right? Putting their reputation, their businesses, their family out there, their safety out there. And then you're going to have them say, oh, well, I don't know if we should include him or he's got this CPS thing. I take the offense to that, especially because I got the damn CPS case because I'm doing this damn podcast, putting pressure on them. Who they're talking about? You or Basement Politics? I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I'm going to call it out. I don't care. I'm going to be honest because I'm not playing no games. You're not going to come in here and try to hijack something, right? Where were you at before? Putting yourselves out there? Come on. I'm not playing with that nonsense, yo. And I see what y'all flip-flop. Yo, y'all created this problem, some of y'all. And now y'all want to try to be, oh, we're against it. No, you created this. You haven't been speaking out enough. You haven't been doing much. But now y'all want to try to get your candidate in there, right? That's what it's all about, right? I know who your candidates are. I know who you're trying to get in there. I know it. People tell me things. Okay? It all gets back. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. We must make sure that we vote for the people that are going to really be able to do the position, to do the job right? Not just anyone that wants to come up. I've been handing out food and this, that, and third. No disrespect, but there's a difference between an individual who can be an elected official and an individual that's community activist, right? Be community activists. That's what you do great. You do this great. Everyone has to learn what they do great and play that role great and just do that because that's where we need people at, right? We don't need people who do this great trying to do something else because that's, they feel like that's a more prestigious position or role or whatever, right? So it's going to be a lot of that, folks. I'm just saying, let's be, cautious of that. Let's see who these individuals are who are really here for change and people who are really here to take advantage of an opportunity created by those who have CPS cases now. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Have a beautiful and blessed night. Bringing up people's investigation.
Ready, wins.
BS, that's a sucker move, right? Because if you don't want to support somebody or if you don't want somebody around, just say that. Don't try to use their investigation as BS as a reason why you may not want to support them or you don't want to vote for them or you don't want them included in your meetings. That's nonsense. I'm not with that. Absolutely. That's exactly what they are. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. Thank you, folks. About to go check out my wife. She just came in. I don't want to be out here fighting hard. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to put myself out there because I said I was going to do that, and I accept it. What I don't like is that individuals now want to come in behind that, try to take advantage of an opportunity, and then exclude individuals because they don't want that individual there because they feel like, well, maybe that individual might get more of the attention, and we're trying to push this individual, right? That's what it's about, right? I get it.
Ready, wins. Fatality. Ready.
And where was y'all at the meetings, man? Some of y'all in there wasn't even at the meetings. No one was really speaking out, but your names is all up on this lawsuit.
Ready.
Nowhere to be found at the meeting.
Fatality.
Who was the one that had to be escorted out by police because it presented a danger to him? Me. I'm the one.
Ready. Win.
I'm not the one flip-flopping, being cool with them, and then when they don't do what I want, they don't give me my reward. Now we're gonna flip on them, right? Now I'm gonna flip on them because they didn't give me my reward.
Ready. Win.
Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. Thank you folks for supporting Basement Politics. But this is for the people, not for any organizations or the politicians that want to come in and try to control Yonkers politics. It's not for you guys. This is for the people. And it's time that the people take control.
Ready. Win.